You guys have all been to the store and purchased fabric, and it all came on a bolt. And generally speaking, when it's wrapped on a bolt, the right side is out so you can see what the print looks like, and the wrong side is inside. Mine is very obvious which is right and which is wrong, okay? Because of the blue and the white. My material also does not have a pattern to it. So I can lay my second piece so that it runs the same way as the first piece, or I can even do it like this if I want to conserve fabric, because I'm not going to have a pattern in my pajama pants, okay? But if your material has a pattern, you're going to want your legs to run both the same direction, okay? Because otherwise one leg's going to be upside down. Now, back to the material. This edge of the material is called the selvage. This is what they do on the edge of the material. This edge is the fold, which we've talked about before when you've been cutting things. Material has two grain lines. Remember back when we were doing textiles and you were doing the weaves, there's a lengthwise grain line and a crosswise grain line. Your lengthwise grain line is the stronger of the two. That is why you have a grain line marking on your pattern pieces. In order to make sure that you have laid your pattern out on the grain line, you lay your pattern piece, what you think is relatively straight, on your material. And then you take your grain line and you measure from your grain line to your selvage edge. And I'm going to do this up just a little bit more so that it fits the ruler. And then you put in one pin on this end of the grain line, okay? And then you mark with your ruler. Basically, I'm at 11.5 inches. So then I want to come down here and I want to put this into the arrow at 11.5 inches from the selvage edge and put my second grain line in. Pin in my grain line. That way I know if I've pinned along the grain line, then my garment's going to hang correctly when I'm wearing it. Okay, does that make sense? I want you to have me check your grain lines before you put in any more pins, because if your grain lines aren't right, then you're going to have a lot of pins to take out. The next step is that you will go around and you will place pins in your pattern piece at all the major points, and then I would also pin several times in between these long edges so that when you're cutting it does not get away from you, and so that you cut a straight edge. I want to approve when you've pinned it. Once it's all pinned, I will give you approval to cut. All right, are there any questions?